Welcome back. It's time for us to look at the newspaper front pages. We're bringing it to you, and the first one we're looking at is the Daily Monitor. We're looking at the Monitor, and the big story here says Katolo mom as DIS awaits return. Katolo mom as DIS awaits return. That's on the Daily Monitor. We also have some stories at the top. We had proposed 11%, says unions. If you want to know what that story is about, look at page 3. Standard 3 student electrocuted. That's a very, very sad story on the 4th page if you'd like to look into the details of that. Lesile Marape scoop biggest awards. That's on page 28. Now inside we see election fraud whistleblowers reinstated. Election fraud whistleblowers or whistleblower reinstated. We also have PTA fund collection leaves teacher jobless. That's a sad one. We see here on continuing on page 5, that says BPF says reject Moweng Marcisi draconian law. Following reports that the Minister for State President would table an amendment to standing orders barring legislators from mentioning President Mogwitz Maski's name in Parliament. Botswana Patriotic Front has come out with guns blazing. That's the detail of that story. If you'd like to see more, get yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor. We're moving over to our next paper.
All right, and we'll move to the Citizen in Tanzania. It says here Zanzibar increases salaries by up to 19%. Also, 5 firms' profits point to recovery from COVID. That seems like good news across Africa. As of course, South Africa is still dealing with a 5th wave. I've announced a 5th wave, but other places seem to be recovering. Also on the Citizen this morning, Samia's call as royal tour is unveiled in Dar. And also, Form 6 exam, no cheating. Nectar wants. All right, those are the big ones on the Citizen this morning.
All right, let's bring it back home here to Nigeria as we look at the Nation newspaper. The big story here, APC slams 9 conditions on presidential aspirants. All those people who are paying millions of naira for forms. The APC has given 9 conditions on presidential aspirants, and one of them is that contenders will not be taking the party to court. That's one of the conditions, and it's making a lot of people raise eyebrows concerning this term. We also have here at the top of the paper, inflation to hit 7-month high at 16.2%. Interest rate to go up. That's on page 13. And moving on to page 5, we have aviation workers begin warning strike. Airlines shelve flights halt. This is a very important conversation, which we'll be looking at much later on in the show. Senator Arthur Nzeribe dies at 83. That's on page 6. Asomall strike extension. Protests in cities. Apparently, the conversation about ASU might not be ending anytime soon. That's on page 3. VC's wives shift parlay. On the bottom of the page, we have petrol scarcity back in FCT. Not again. Oil marketers seek payment of 100 billion naira debt. Federal government investors draw down 850 billion naira unclaimed dividends fund. Now, we also see here at the bottom of the paper, Supreme Court verdict on 17 oil wells not final, says Imo government. Let's take a quick look at some of the conditions that the All Progressives Congress has slammed presidential aspirants. 1, acceptance of outcome / support for winners. 2, not engage in thuggery or anti-party activities. 3, must not create parallel Congress at any level. 4, must sign letter of voluntary withdrawal. 5, defend APC and 1999 Constitution. 6, abide by Electoral Act guidelines. 7, place APC above selfish interests.
This is so funny. It's so funny. It looks like